All right. Time Gate. Beetling Grip. Beetle Grip. Beetling Grip. Beetling Grip. Beetle Grip. Oh, their name just works for that. That's unfortunate. Okay. This is one of those situations where we don't have any favor. So we actually need to pull in Jarlaxle. And I'm going to do 15 minutes of speed, 15 minutes of click damage, 15 minutes of gold bind. And we'll see what we get out of this. I'm actually going to switch to Alondra as a tank. She brings in gold find. Tempted to bring in Marilyn for gold find. This is where, like, starting with more of a gold find focused party is actually somewhat useful. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna worry about getting gold on this run. Blacky, thank you for 2 months with Twitch Prime. Much appreciated. I'm glad you're getting help with the guides. If there is a new, I know, Lurking Rider, there's another Beetlejuice coming, and so I hope they don't screw it up. Beetlejuice is such an amazing movie from the 80s. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. I really hope they don't screw them up. Or the sequel that's coming out after so much time. Yeah, the dinner party scene is, you know, that's the big energy scene, but the whole movie is good. I don't know that I've watched the trailer. I've been scared. Been scared to watch the trailer. Derpy Boy. We're going to bring in Derpy Boy. I don't care about the Twister sequel. Twisters? Look, I live in Oklahoma. Movies about tornadoes are... It's just like, hi, let's watch a movie about something that could kill you and traumatize you, like, multiple times, many times a year. I don't know, like, why? Why? And the worst thing is now we're getting tornadoes in other parts of the United States that there's never been tornadoes in because of climate change, right? And I'm like, oh, you're going to realize this is not an entertaining movie. This is not an entertaining movie. It's like, like when you watch it from the perspective of someone that has to live somewhere that has them, you spend the entire movie going, that's not accurate. That's not how tornadoes work. I say this is someone who had a tornado jump their house as a kid. I literally was asleep in the middle of the night. There was a storm, tornado rolled through, jumped the house. Was coming across the land of the farm instead across the way. It hit a tornado break, which is like a ramp that perfectly built in to make it jump farmhouses. And it jumped the farmhouse and jumped us and landed landed way behind us. Because you can actually make them do that. Yeah. If they're small enough. Won't stop a big one. The too massive, but the smaller ones. Yeah. Blew out our front window. That was how we knew it happened. Yeah. Not great. Not a great experience. Better than if it had hit our house. But yeah, so those kind of movies are just like, no. Yeah, Sharknado's fine because look, that's not an actual thing. That's just campy fun. You can do Sharknado. And these giant shark movies where it's like, oh, can't remember what they try to call the last one. With Jason Statham. I don't even remember. It's like, that's not it. Those aren't things. That's not how that works. But it's, it makes an The Meg, yeah. But, entertaining movie, fine. That I'm fine with. Like, you're just, there's no way that's ever happening. So fine. Unlike the original Jaws, which, terrifying. That can actually happen. Terrifying. Oh. Oh. You didn't know that was a thing, a tornado ramp? Yeah, I didn't either until I was living in Oklahoma across from one. Because it was like, look, you see farmland and it's just flat, but then you see a house, and in the middle of this farmland, and the farmland's all flat coming up to it, and then there's just a ramp, like a 45-degree ramp, and you're like, that's not a natural occurrence, and then it's flat again. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And they're like, that's a tornado ramp, so that it doesn't just run across the land and right over our house. It'll jump the house. Again, like smaller tornadoes. Big tornadoes, you're screwed, no matter what. But, yeah, but the vast majority of tornadoes are smaller tornadoes, so they'll hit a ramp and just jump right over. Jump right over. I need way more gold now. This is nice. This is nice. Original Jaws made people afraid to go to the beach. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That could actually happen. That's terrifying to think about. I get it. I get that. The Meg, not so much. Well, no, I know they're not that aggressive, but there is a genuine reason to be afraid of of shark attacks. Not so much. They don't happen that often as movies will tell you, but it can happen. A Meg can't. A Meg isn't a thing. A Meg isn't a thing. So that's the difference. That's the difference I was trying to relate. I want to continue for a little bit. Our potions aren't. I want to go until the potion is worn off. Later shark related movie watched about the woman. Yeah, that was an actual true story. Yeah. Yeah. We're supposed to get a second part of the rod with the 2 latest Vecna adventures. Yes, if you complete the second one, yes. It was listed as a reward if you complete that second adventure. So if you didn't get it, submit a ticket. There's a number of movies that are about surfers that have been attacked by sharks. Some are some are just based on, and some are like official, and so keep that in mind when watching them. Best story losing up. Well, there's one about I think a girl that loses her leg, or someone that loses a leg. So yeah, there've been a few. The Meg is basically a kaiju movie. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, J-Dog. Submit a ticket. More afraid of jellyfish and squid than here's the thing. The ocean is as someone who grew up on a sailboat, the ocean is a beautiful and terrifying place. For everything that you see that's beautiful about it, like dolphins and whales, there's something that can harm or kill you, and you should be aware of it. Not that you should be so scared and terrified of it that you don't enjoy the ocean, but you should at least be aware of the situation you're putting yourself in when you get into when you go in the ocean. Informed decisions, right? Shouldn't prevent you from enjoying it, but you should be aware. And yeah, jellyfish are rough. There's a lot of I remember, one of the things they tell you when you're at the beach and you're at the beach for the first time is don't pick up your feet and stomp through the water. Shuffle your feet, and the reason is because of like skates and rays that sit on the bottom, and if you step on them, they will whip their tail at you and sting you, right? And that's big. That'll hurt. That'll send you to the hospital, just because blood and pain, right? But even then, I had a friend who was learning to surf for the first time, went out shuffling their feet, doing the right thing, hit one from the wrong direction, and instead of from the back, hit it from the front, and the thing just opened its mouth and went chomp and chomped on their big toe to the point where it went down to the bone, all the way around down to the bone. Didn't bite it off, let go, it took off. Had to have that all sewed up, like you could see his bone, and walk around with like a brace and everything to protect his foot while he's healed. He did everything right. Nature sucks sometimes. Nature sucks sometimes. Well, I don't know that that's true either, Solar Bear. Like, knowing more about space than what's in the darkest depths of the oceans, but no. There's like, I mean, look, what is it, 70%? I think the number that always gets thrown around is something like 70% of the Earth is covered in water, is covered in oceans, and we know nothing about what's in there comparatively. If you think about what we know on land, there's places that are covered in forests, like the Amazon. We know nothing about what's inside, really. But it's the same with, but we really know nothing about what's in the ocean. Like nothing. Relative to the potential for what's down there, we know nothing. That was actually what I went to call it. My first major was marine science, so you learn like what you know about the ocean is like the literal tip of the iceberg, and then there's everything else to have a marine quote. Alright, we're almost to the end of our potion. This is why I like to do these runs based off potions. Early on, when you don't have a lot of power, you kind of got to use hour potions. But we're to the point now where you can use a 15-minute potion. Look how far we got. That's fantastic. And we'll get a good chunk of favor. EO6, yeah, I'll take it. I should save this. Start. That up for our next run. Yeah, one of the things about like going to school and just about any like any field where you want to become like try to become an expert is becoming an expert is realizing you know like very little. You know a lot of what's potential to know, but there's very little of what there actually is to know, and that's actually the defining moment of you becoming an expert. Oh, I know nothing. Great. Well, hey, congratulations, you're an expert now. Whereas the people who think they know everything, those are the idiots. They know nothing. Forgot about Astarion. Astarion just gave us so much money, I forgot to put him in there. Why? I thought we were done, but no. EO7. There, we just jumped up a whole order of magnitude because of Astarion. Alright, we're going to kill this dragon, and then we're going to reset. Alright. 777, EO7. That was a perfect time. That was perfect timing.